Here with Matt Pocket, works for Oakland Student Radio. We're here at the Summer League Tournament in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Talk about some Oakland basketball. Matt, talk about the men's Oakland team. Very good team. Just what makes them tick?
Big part of that is going to be Keith Benson this year. Keto, we all know, one of the best players the Summit League has ever seen, one of the best players, maybe the best player to ever roll through Oakland University. He's going to be probably going in the NBA draft next year in all likelihood. But it's not just him. You've got Will Hudson. Will is one of the top offensive rebounders in the nation. He's been hovering in and out of the top 5 all season long. Will's an energy guy who's going to bring a lot of tempo. It's 2 big forwards for the Golden Grizzlies. They can bring Ilya Milutinovic off the bench to give them some minutes this year, which really helps out as well. But Will Hudson is a guy who's really kind of the glue of this team, is the energy. He'll come up with a big play when this team needs it the most. And then they've got Reggie Hamilton. When the game is on the line and you need buckets, Reggie Hamilton is a guy who can absolutely take over a basketball game. He loves to get out in transition. He loves to shoot the 3-pointers. He can get to the rack. He's a strong guard for his 5'11" frame. Reggie's just one heck of a talent. He's been in the league for a few years, UMKC before this, and now with Oakland. And he's a guy who's really come into his own. You look at top guards in the league. I think Nate Walters, SDSU, is obviously up there. I think Reggie Hamilton is probably the only true guard that I would say is really up there in terms of comparing the top guards in the Summit League. I think it's Walters. I think it's Reggie. I think everybody else, there's guys who are really good. I don't think there's a whole lot of guys that are that good who can just dominate on any given night. So watch for Reggie in this tournament. He's a show.
If we pan over to Players Award, for the men's side, we can see that several Oakland players have won first team and all-conference recognition, but Oakland might have the best coaching staff in the league as also. Should just talk about that aspect.
Yeah, it's Greg Campy, and he's talked about this a lot on his show here on WXOU 88.3 FM, WXOU.org,
online,
absolutely.
.com.
But it's every Monday at 3. But Greg Campy gives a lot of credit to his coaching staff. He's got Coach Sorensen, Darren Sorensen, Coach Jeff Tungate, Coach Sadi Washington, who's in the Western Michigan University Hall of Fame. He's got some fantastic coaches. And Sadi's a guy who's been to the NCAA tournament. He was there as a player with Western Michigan. He actually helped put them in the tournament when he was a player. So this is a very good coaching staff. These guys work with the players. Keith Benson's given a lot of credit to the coaching staff for coming out of high school. He was a guy on a loaded squad at Detroit Country Day. Didn't start his senior year in high school, but he picked up a couple of inches in height. He went there. He came to Oakland. He worked with the coaching staff, and they really helped take his game to the next level, where now we're looking at a potential first-round draft pick here coming out of Oakland U. So Greg Campy is one of the best in the nation. He's one of the top 5 tenured coaches in America. The longevity speaks for itself. Good things happen, and that results in you being at your college for a long time here in the world of college basketball. And Coach Campy is one of the best around, and a really nice guy when you get to know him, too.
And does Southern Utah stand a chance tonight?
I think Southern Utah does stand a chance. I think any team in this league stands a chance on any given night.
Maybe not Centenary?
Yeah. I do think, though, that with Oakland, they've got the horses to win this game by about 15. Southern Utah, they do have some size, a little bit of size down low. They got a forward or two that I think if they can get Keto and Will in foul trouble, that's a very tall task. Usually you can get one, but not the other in foul trouble. You don't see it very often where both of them are in there. If you can get both of them in foul trouble, then I think Southern Utah might be able to attack the paint a little bit more, because Oakland might shift to a smaller lineup, but I don't see that happening. Keto's been very smart in terms of staying out of foul trouble this year, and Will very rarely picks up any more than 3 fouls in the game. So these are 2 intelligent basketball players. I think they have to attack them in new, interesting ways for Southern Utah to win this game.
And shifting gears to the women team had a disappointing loss to Western Illinois last year. So talk about the Oakland women this year.
They've got Bethany Waterworth. She can take over a game from the low blocks. She's added a big-time outside game as well this season. Bethany Waterworth, 5'11", sophomore out of Lake Orion High School. She is the complete package. just a phenomenal talent. You look at her ability to work in the low post. It brings up memories of Melissa Chaltamo, who just graduated a year ago, and she's playing overseas now. But Bethany Waterworth is already a polished talent for the Golden Grizzlies and can really take over any game. Charisse Calhoun has really stepped up in scoring lately as well for the Golden Grizzlies. She's averaging, I think, 5 or 6 points per game more than she did a season ago. Charisse Calhoun, a defensive stopper. She loves to get out there and play tight defense, but now she's added the ability to score the basketball as well. She gets a lot of steals, so look for the Golden Grizzlies to make things happen and try and force the transition game a little bit. They want to get up and down the floor, force the turnovers defensively, and then get up the floor and try and get baskets in transition, and then they can hit the three too.
What factor, if they go far in this tournament, what factor would be last year's disappointing end to the season, at least at the Summit League, would you place on that?
You know, I think with this team, I think they're thinking, they know that it's there, but it's not something that they're actively looking at and saying, we need to, we need to come back and we need to avenge last season's loss. I don't think that it's anything like that with this team. I think they're focused on right here, right now. We've got a job to do, and it starts tomorrow night. Tomorrow afternoon against Southern Utah here at Sioux Falls Arena. I don't think the loss from last year was really hanging over their heads too much. It might be something that's there in the locker room a little bit, but it's not something where I think they're sitting there and actively thinking about last year's game. I think they've kind of put that behind them.
And what do you think the Thunderbirds need to do to get the win against Oakland?
I think Pascucci is going to have a lot to do with that. They need to get out there. They need to take care of the basketball. Oakland wins a lot of games when the other team turns the ball over, and if Charisse Calhoun is able to force turnovers by Southern Utah, Oakland will win that game pretty handily. Southern Utah needs to do two things. They need to get out there and they need to contest every shot on defense, and they need to limit the turnovers offensively. Anybody going up against Oakland, again, it's easier said than done. But limit your turnovers, contest shots defensively. If Southern Utah can do those things, then it should be an interesting basketball game. But Oakland hits big shots with hands in their face anyway sometimes. So,
can you compare the two coaches' media interviewing styles? The Oakland University coaches, that is.
Well, Coach Campy is a guy who loves to get out there. He loves talking to the media. He's always got great answers for everything. Coach Francis, a really good coach too for talking to the media. She's always got something to add as well. Really friendly coaches when it comes to dealing with the media. So really, for me as a student broadcaster coming into this program over the last couple of years, I couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, trying to learn the ropes here in the media business as well. I'm only a junior at Oakland U, but I get the chance to work with coaches who are media friendly. Two coaches who are really media friendly. They like talking to us. It really makes life as a student broadcaster easy when you can just walk up to the coach and just be like, hey, you can shake their hand, you can talk with them a little bit, and then you can kind of get down to the media business. So, but they're really wonderful people, and I really enjoy dealing with them on a media level too.
Do you think Oakland or Detroit will make a vie for the Summit League tournament in the next 2 years?
Well, the talk has been among the Oakland fans, they want to jump to the Horizon League, and that's I believe there's a rule in the Horizon League charter that says a member school can block the entry of another school within 50 miles. U of D Mercy is within 50 miles of Oakland's campus, and I believe that they've been putting that. They would put the block on us if Oakland ever decided to make the move. So right now, I think Oakland is content with being in the Summit League. It's a league that's working out well for the Golden Grizzlies right now. Maybe in the future, maybe they look to kind of consolidate and move back to a more regional conference. Horizon League is really just a couple of states in a small area. There's not really a whole lot of travel costs associated with it, whereas in the Summit League, you're coming out here to the Dakotas twice a year right now. You're going out to Southern Utah, UMKC, Oral Roberts. You're jumping all over the place. So would it be big for travel expenses? Absolutely. But a jump to the Horizon League, I don't think it's something that Oakland's looking at. And U of D Mercy is content right where they are too. So don't expect them to. And Coach Campy talked about this recently on the Greg Campy Show. Don't really expect Oakland and U of D to be playing each other a whole lot anytime soon.
Sure. So. Would you like to add?